having a hairy ass sucks. Dane knows, on a plane,
Oh, yeah.
it like, because you're sitting for so long that like, over time, it pulls your hair.
And you know what? I have had that, actually. After a
Like-
long period of sit time, it does start to pull it.
Like, even if you're in a car, or just sitting down for like over 4 hours.
It's like my butt cheeks are Velcro.
Yeah, that's how it feels like.
Yeah, it feels like the lower, like, inner side of my butt cheeks are kind of like, yeah, like Velcroed together, and I have to, like...
What up, crackers? Oh, it's episode 4 of the CTTV podcast.
That scared
God
me.
bless.
What'd it do?
You just got blessed.
I'm scared.
You just got blessed so hard.
Nate's back.
So, I turned into Carter, but now I'm back. It happens sometimes.
It
It's
happens
weird.
sometimes.
It happens
It happens to the best of us.
We put some little elves inside his husk, and they're now controlling him from his brain.
We use the Discord.
Who, me or
Kemper elves.
Carter? Me or Carter?
You.
Oh.
You're the husk? The one that we cut open?
Oh, right.
Shoot, where's my phone?
I don't know.
Oh, whatever. I don't need it.
You don't even need your
We're talking to the boys.
boys.
Right. So,
What were we just talking about? Should we bring that up again?
well, we were talking about butt crack, Brazilian wax on your chest,
And hair.
and
on your
hair.
butt.
And hair on your
Specifically
butt.
butt hair. And how much
Which
it
is
sucks.
very uncomfortable. Yeah, but, dude, sitting on a plane, it's once you hit the 5-hour mark, it's like, it's the point of no return, and it's just pain.
Once you get on the plane, it's the point of no return, Dane.
Well, technically, yeah.
But you do return.
But it's the point of no return for your butt. It's like once you pass 5 hours, it's like there's immeasurable damage to my butt cheeks. They're completely flat now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've found that if I position myself in a way when I first sit down, if I don't go full spread, but I slightly part my cheeks when I sit down, I get like the perfect balance of like airflow, and I don't have to worry about my cheeks being Velcroed together.
That's probably the way to go. Yeah, I know. Nate, can you set a timer on your phone?
Yes.
I forgot to do it on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Sounds like you guys should get implants.
In my butt,
Yeah.
In my ass, yeah.
get Adidas Boost implants in
Dude,
my butt cheeks.
I feel like getting an implant, though, would kind of mess you up. Because isn't there like a period of time where like it's just like it doesn't connect? You know?
Yeah, it
takes
has
time
to connect to the
your
tissue, and
yeah.
then it also has to, the scar. I don't know why I pointed to my breast.
You got breast implants?
You gotta get both.
He's gonna get him.
Dude.
Definitely.
For the group photo.
Yeah, for the group. Of course. But yeah, I feel like if you sat down too quickly after getting that surgery, like your butt could like slide down into like your leg. Just like, oh no.
Oh
And
no,
you got mad calf muscles.
Dude,
I got
might
knee
be kind of worth
implants.
it.
You guys might want to back up a little bit because
Yeah, we're peaking quite a bit.
All right.
We got to get back to the used to the grind.
yeah.
The grind.
I feel like though if you were to get ass implants, you wouldn't really be able to sit because you'd be worried about the scarring and the stitching or the stapling, however, like reopening on your ass cheeks.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they would I don't know the procedure in which you do that. Do you just have to be a stiff plank for like the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, how did Kim Kardashian do it?
I don't know, man, but I feel like you just have to wait it out.
I think her ass just kind of did that on its own.
Yeah. There's that.
You really think that's natural?
It's possible.
She says that
About as
never had
natural
anything.
as JFK's head doing that on its own.
Which it did. So
It did.
You sure?
I think so.
In some alternate universe, it did it by itself. Yes.
He was just like, fuck this, I'm done.
I'm done.
No head.
Bro.
Dude, I can't believe that actually, like, someone with a Nerf nut shot did that to him.
You mean long shot?
Nerf nut shot.
Nerf nut shot?
Ever heard of the Nerf nut shot?
No, I
it's
haven't.
that little gun like this big.
Oh, it's like the
It's
little
like-
ones that you buy
yeah,
at
it's
the
like-
checkout.
Yeah, they're really tiny, but they're
Yeah,
really
okay.
powerful.
Yeah.
Like for some reason.
Yeah, no, they do have like for some reason insane speeds.
Yeah.
Like they have the precision and the speed of a fucking 50 cal sniper bullet.
Ooh, speaking of precision and speed, do you remember in high school when you would get like a little like strip of paper and you'd fold it a bunch of times and then you'd fold it once last time into like the shape of like an arrow and you'd launch that with a rubber band and it'd sting like a motherfucker?
Oh
Yeah, that's like like a little point or like
Yeah.
a paper football kind of thing.
It's like a paper point kind of deal.
Little
Yeah.
I remember nailing someone from like 100 feet away in the neck with one of those. It's awesome.
That poor soul.
There was somebody in like 5th grade. I can't remember who it was, but they could do spitballs that stung. They'd hit you and they'd sting.
Well,
and like
wait,
high
we
velocity.
Seriously
we
let
still
someone
can't say
spit on
names,
you?
huh?
That's-
That person-
Well, we
Yeah,
can, but
disrespectful.
not in defamation. We don't want to defecate.
Oh, okay.
That person's got some
on-
serious
All right. Well,
mouth power
Jaden,
at
for
that
example. Jaden, for example, could do a mean spitball.
I think it was Jaden. I wouldn't be
Probably
surprised.
was
Yeah, it
probably
was probably Jaden.
Yeah.
But
point. Mouth pressure on that man must have been insane to make those sting.
going back to Nerf guns really quickly, the hardest Nerf gun you can do is literally just a long PVC pipe. You get Velcro in that, it leaves like lacerations and welts. It hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
How do you?
Yeah, I think beating someone with a PVC.
No, not just beating somebody with a PVC pipe. You put the Nerf bullet on the in where your mouth goes, like you're blowing into
Oh, like a blow dart?
yeah, like a blow dart.
Okay.
And you just pew, and then
Oh.
It hurts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
somebody hit me in the corner of the lip and it bled.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Is it just like the raw dart by itself with Velcro attached inside the tube, or is it attached
It's
to the?
one of no, it's like one of the Nerf darts that has Velcro.
I remember those. I remember.
yeah.
Those. It was supposed to be like you would like attach to your clothes or something.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
for like if you wore one of those Nerf vests or something that had like kind of the Velcro adaptable patching on it. You could just shoot it and be like, "Oh, you got me. I'm tagged."
It's like laser tag, but instead of lasers, it's
A Nerf gun.
a Nerf gun. So very low precision.
Yeah.
So with toy guns, they try to make them look like real guns,
Yeah.
but then they put that goofy ass
Or the
orange
colors,
tip
yeah.
or whatever,
Oh, yeah,
or they
yeah.
make the whole gun orange.
Yeah.
I think the real meta breaking move the U.S. government needs to make is to make all of our real guns look like fake guns.
Just go into war and they're like, they've just got a bunch of Nerf guns. They've got a Nerf nut shot.
Make
They run the other way, dude. They're
them
out.
They're
super
out.
tiny too,
They're
like
out.
the little toy M16s that are like a foot long.
Yeah.
But it'd be like, psych, this actually has real bullets in it, and then you shoot someone with it.
Yeah, and then they're fucking dead.
Yeah, pull up to ISIS and be like, yo, guess what? I got this toy gun. I can't do nothing. And then they come up and they try to decapitate you, and you're like, boom, I got a real gun.
I think that's what happened to Bin Laden.
Really?
I think so.
You think
Bin
they got
Laden has seen Naruto. Did you know that?
Dude.
It's confirmed,
I
actually.
think No, I can't say that. Never mind. He's not a homie, you guys.
No, he's not a homie.
Definitely not a homie.
He was a homie in the 80s when he was fighting the Soviets, but then he decided to not be a homie.
And he was like,
anymore.
yo.
He might not be a homie, but he might be a Hokage.
Wow.
I-
Naruto joke.
I don't really
get
know what that
that.
means. I don't watch Naruto.
I do know what
I
Naruto
know
means,
what that
but...
means, yeah.
Or I do. I know what Naruto means.
I know
I
it.
know
No,
what Hokage means.
Yeah. Yeah, but apparently, well, did you know that those guys, the SEAL Team 6, when they did that mission, they weren't technically under the control of the Navy, so they weren't classified as SEALs on the mission. They were CIA operatives because the normal Army and Navy and all them, they can't go into places
Yeah,
like that.
so the way the rules of engagement are set up and how the CIA operates is completely different from the military. The military can't openly send their troops or their special forces operators to another nation without the nation's consent. Otherwise, it's seen as an act of war. But the CIA has a very blurred gray line with something called the Special Activities Division, or that's what it used to be called. And they're basically paramilitary that they pull out of any special forces. They pull out a DevGru, which is SEAL Team 6. They pull out Army Rangers, Green Berets, Delta Force, and they will put them together for an operation. They'll say they're going into Pakistan or they're going to into Indonesia or something. They'll pull them out and say, okay, you're CIA operators for this time. Then that gives them full jurisdiction to go wherever the fuck they want to.
Yeehaw Cowboys.
Yeehaw Cowboys.
Hoo-yah.
Hooyah.
Ooh, yeah.
Geronimo.
What was that connection, though, you were making about Bin Laden?
Yeah, I don't know how that
don't-
came up. It was just kind of like a
Oh, well,
one-off
like,
joke.
like that's how they killed Bin Laden because it was a Nerf.
Oh, it was a Nerf nut shot.
You know,
Yeah.
of course. Like, they just shot him in the nuts and his head exploded. I don't know. Kind of weird. Too much
Like,
cum was stored in
What was
there.
it? Like What's the Elite Sniper 3 is the one where you can shoot Hitler's nuts.
Yeah, it's not really where you can achieve
And there's like
shooting the
reactions
balls.
to it.
Yeah. Awesome.
God.
Did you guys ever see American Sniper? That
Yeah.
Yes, I recently
I love
watched
that movie.
it.
I never watched it either.
Yeah, with Bradley Cooper. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, they portray it very differently than the actual book, though. In the book, the book is different than the movie by quite a lot.
Yeah.
Every time I would see like promotional media or whatever for that movie, or anyone would talk about it, I just think of that Finnish sniper who was way cooler.
Oh,
Yeah, the White Death.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't remember his exact name, but dude had like, what, 300 something confirmed kills?
I think it's more than that.
For a
Actually,
sniper.
I think it was around 500 when I checked. It was like 500 confirmed, and then like even more unconfirmed or something.
There's always somebody cooler.
There's always.
Especially
Yeah.
cooler because Finland,
Finland's pretty cool.
Finland is pretty cool.
Not a whole lot going on in there, so they're definitely
it's cold.
They have
there.
nothing else to do besides be cool.
Yeah, they have nothing to do besides be cold and speak weird,
a language
crafty and versions
no
of
connections to
Nordic
like any
languages.
other language or
Has
something.
connections to Hungarian and Mongolian.
It's kind of weird how it got up that far.
But it's still an interesting language nonetheless. It's just when you read it, it looks like you're reading garbage.
Yeah. But it's a real language. Apparently they're not very social people. You know, some of the most like
I
isolationist
think that's
people.
true for a lot of the Nordic area.
That in most of
Yeah.
Northern Europe isn't very social unless you actually speak to someone and get to know them.
Yeah.
It's
Except for-
it's usually just kind of like cultural shit. Unless it's like Fleeca culture, which is just party culture. It's a bit of a different story. But if you're just meeting someone on the street, people are a lot more reserved into themselves.
That sounds pretty
Won't
close to
open up at all.
Japan and like those Asian countries as well.
Yeah.
Where like in a bar they're super chill, and then in the street, you know, it's like you ask them a question and they'll answer kindly, but besides that, they'll continue on their way.
It's like the niceties of like, oh, how are you doing today? Mm-hmm. Kind of like what we do here.
Yeah.
Americans are definitely more blunt in
Yeah.
bare minimum in
Dude.
strangers interaction.
Yeah.
Well, speaking
Interaction
of
with strangers,
like we all have jobs where we interact with people, except do you interact with people, Israel?
I
used
interact
to.
with people, but I pretend that I don't care about them.
Right. But we all have we have all had a job at some point where we've interacted with the public.
Right.
What is your least favorite encounter that you've had?
Where do I start with Vitamin World? Oh my god.
Holy shit.
I loved my job at that vitamin store, but there were like 3 encounters in there that were insane. One time, this guy comes in here, and you know I put my phone down because I usually chill on my phone while I'm waiting for customers to come in. He comes in, put my phone down, and he says, "Hi, here's fake name, and I'm a I think he said." It was either no.
this
He
the
said
meth
meth addict. Yeah. He said, and I'm a meth addict, and I'm sitting there. Okay. What do you need then? And he says, I need whatever meth makes you deficient of. Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what does that. So give me a second. So I look it up, and Google says, meth makes you deficient in this, and this. But the most prominent thing was vitamin C or something. I don't know. I don't care. So I grab a multivitamin for this guy. And this guy looks homeless. He looks really dirty. His hands were probably the dirtiest things I've ever seen in my life. And he's like going around touching things, whatever. I'm keeping track of everything he's touched. So I grab a multivitamin for him and say, hey, you should have this if you're really worried about your deficiencies. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. And then all of a sudden he goes on like a 20-minute rant on how he's living in his car and someone is breaking into his car at night and injecting him with estrogen to transition him into a woman. And he says, I can feel myself getting curvier and everything, man. I don't know what to do about it. And I said, if that's true, you should tell the police. I can't really do anything about that.
yeah.
And he says, well, I was thinking that I could combat that by picking up protein powder. And I said, protein powder has a version of estrogen in it.
There's soy in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got soy in it.
which is the building block of estrogen.
Right.
Something
So
like that.
I would advise against that and get actual testosterone instead. So I made a $200 sale off this guy.
Off a meth head.
Yeah. And then
With commission.
yeah, with commission. So he says, "Thank you for not being judgmental, whatever." And then he reaches out to shake my hand. And of course, because I try to be polite when working, even though I really don't want to be, I shake the guy's hand and he leaves. I quickly hand sanitized like 50 times. And then I went through the store and wiped down with a bleach wipe everything he touched.
God.
Poor guy.
I have two that rank pretty much equally in how much I hated them. So I've been working my server job for a little over a year now, and by far, it is the least enjoyable job I've ever had in my life. I come to learn that I hate interacting with the public with a burning passion, not because I'm like antisocial or anything, but I just think people are assholes.
Yeah.
And they are entitled children, especially when it comes to food. Like, you'll have a person who doesn't get their 2 cracked open mussels with cheese on it. It's 2 minutes late, and they're threatening to walk out and not pay for their $130 bill. So it's like, okay, well, would you like me to suck you off with your meal, oh great one? Like, that's the kind of attitude they give off.
Some real under the table
Yeah.
service.
But the two encounters that really ranked terribly for me, the first one was when I was about 6 months into my server job. And I was doing a teppanyaki table. I was just serving it. We don't cook. But I was handing out drinks. I come out. I take their order, give it to the chef, come out with a miso soup and a salad. And I hand it to them. And this old woman who's probably in her mid-70s, early 80s, is asking me about wines. And I was like, okay, no big deal. So I hand her a menu. She flips to the back of it. And she looks at me and she goes, "You guys don't have white Zinfandel?" I'm like, no, we don't have white Zinfandel. She goes, "Well, that's completely outrageous. Every restaurant has white Zin."
White.
I told her,
Zin.
well, we don't. What we have on our menus is what we offer. If you'd like to file a complaint with a manager, I can get you in contact with them. Otherwise, I don't have much power over this. She goes, "Well, you really should, because this is complete bullshit. Every restaurant I've gone to has white Zin, and the fact that you don't is fucking outrageous."
Oh my god.
And I just kept telling her, "Ma'am, I have absolutely zero power over what we stock in our restaurant. I've worked here about 6 months, and I am a server." She goes, "It's still not acceptable, and honestly, you should be fired for this."
What?
And at that point, I just went to my manager and I said, "Listen, there's this nearly senile geriatric who's off her fucking rocker about us not having white Zin. I don't know if she shit her adult diaper or if she's just in a really angry mood right now, but I'm not going to deal with it anymore." So he goes and deals with her, or yeah, so I thought. And it's about 45 minutes later, they've gotten the food, they've eaten, and throughout the night, people who work the grills, who are taking orders for the grills, we have to keep jumping grill to grill. We trade off with someone, so one person takes an order, another table comes in, then say I would take the order, then another table comes in, the other person would take the order, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at about my third grill that time when their entire course was about done. And I hadn't checked on them in about 10 minutes, which is, pretty normal. Usually I check tables every 10 to 15 minutes because the general consensus is people want to be left alone. And if they need something, they'll call you. At least that's how it should be.
Yeah.
But I was gone for about 10 minutes because I was grabbing drinks for another table. And I come out, bring them the drinks. And the woman is hailing me. She isn't saying my name or anything because I introduce my name to them when I tell them I'm serving their tables. It's just one finger underhanded, like beckoning like I'm a dog. So I walk over and go, how can I help you, ma'am? And she goes, "Why did you abandon us?"
Why has God forsaken me?
And I said, "Excuse me?" She goes, "You really shouldn't have abandoned us like that. It's terrible customer service to leave your customers unattended." And I tell her, ma'am, I checked on your table about 10 minutes ago. She goes, well, you should have checked on us again because I've been waiting for a drink for an hour now. And mind you, I've been in and out refilling her drink for her constantly. And I said, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, ma'am, but I've checked on you in the past hour about 4 times. And she just kind of makes a pouty face. I think probably her kid or something is telling her to, like, knock it the fuck off.
Yeah.
Good kid.
So
Good kid.
they're about to leave, and she's checking the bill, and we charge for each glass of wine. So if they want to get a refill, we don't give it out for free. We charge for another glass.
Yeah.
At that point, she had probably ordered about 3 or 4 glasses of wine, of white wine Chardonnay.
Not white Zin, though.
Not white Zen, no.
Unfortunately, she was very upset.
No, she had to settle for the poor man's drink, Letitia Chardonnay.
Letitia.
So
Scum.
she's checking it out, the bill, and then she throws another fit because I charged her for the 4 glasses of wine because
That's your job.
I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
And the glasses aren't like she spent about a good $50 on wine because we don't charge like $2 per glass. We charge like $7.95 per glass.
Yeah, you're trying to upsell them. You're
Yeah.
trying to make some sick cash. That's where most restaurants make their money is alcohol.
Yeah. And at the end of that point, I just told her, listen, I've been very courteous to you all night. I've been attending your every need, but I'm not going to deal with this anymore. If you have a complaint, you can bring it up with my manager. I'm done dealing with you. Then I walked away. Then I didn't hear any more of it. Then fast forward about another 5 or so months. This was pretty recently, like a few months ago. Yeah, probably about 3 or so months ago, when the pandemic and shutdown were really starting. We were only doing takeout for a while because we couldn't do dine-in because it was too risky for people catching COVID. And we, as workers, are mandated to wear masks by California state law. Any person who works in a customer service job, or really any job where you're handling customer merchandise in general, you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
So most jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you probably you have to wear a mask. Israel does, and I have to wear a mask too.
Yeah. So we were at the front. The way we set it up was we had the front door open, but we blocked it off with a table so a person could come up, make a takeout order. They could wait, and then we'd hand them their bag when we were all done. And this, about, I'd say, 30-year-old white woman walks up. Typical, nothing looks off. There's no indication that she's going to be rude or annoying. Her body language seemed completely normal. And she puts an order in. Then right as she's handing me her card to pay for the food, she goes, you guys really have to wear those masks? I go, yeah, it's just the state law. We have to wear these. She goes, that's really fucking stupid. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I legally have to wear the mask.
You're like,
She goes, you do know that this is all socialist, Marxist, communism propaganda, right? I was pardon me? And she went on to explain that how the state asking people to wear masks when they're walking out is a form of cultural Marxism and a form of communist propaganda to subjugate the people, and that it's an infringement of their constitutional rights, and that it's the beginning of a New World Order communism takeover.
Man, it's so communist when it really just boosts one particular business type. That's so socialist.
But
God, of
I was
course.
like, I'm really sorry you feel that way, but I can't control this. I have to do this, otherwise I get fired. And she goes, well, you really shouldn't. You should take your mask off, honestly. It would make me feel more comfortable. And I told her, ma'am, I can't do that.
No, I'm not going to do that.
She goes, okay, well, can I use your bathrooms then? And I go, sorry, our bathrooms are closed to the public.
No, you can't drop a load.
She goes, I own a restaurant. It's complete bullshit. You guys have to open your restaurants if a customer asks for it. And I told her, no, we don't. It's not free reign for anyone in the public to use. It's private property.
That's like,
my manager specifically said there's signs on both the restrooms that say closed for public use.
yeah, that's like saying, like, if somebody were to come to my work and be like, can I use a restroom? And I was like, no, it's in the stockroom. You can't go back there.
Right.
And they say, well, no, you have to. You're a public business. You have to. No, we're not first of all, we're not a public business.
And it doesn't work
What
like
the
that.
fuck is a public business?
But anyway, so I tell her, no, you can't use the bathroom because it's just not open. We don't know what you're going to touch. We don't know where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing in the bathroom.
What you're going to unload.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So because if we let anybody in the bathroom who we know isn't an employee and we know we can't vet, that means we have to clean the entirety of the bathroom, every single inch, top to bottom, with expensive, out-of-stock cleaning supplies. And it would be better if we didn't have to waste those when we didn't have to. Mm-hmm. She goes, okay, well, if you're not going to let me use the bathroom, then I'm not going to pay for my order. And mind you, she had spent upwards of $290 on food. And I go,
some people.
So
she regretted it, that's why.
So I went and I grabbed my manager and I go, yeah, this bitch is at the front complaining that if we don't let her take a piss in the bathroom, that she's going to not pay for like her $300 food order. And he comes out, he talks with her, gets everything settled out. She doesn't go to the bathroom, she pays for it, but then she doesn't tip a single dime. And mind you, we don't include tip with any food order unless it's put in the computer that it's 6 people or more. At that point, we add an 18% automatic gratuity. It's just how the computer automatically files it. But a takeout order, we don't add any tip. So she paid for nearly $300 worth of food, didn't leave us a single dime.
Nice.
Which means it's just more money towards company supply and same amount of cash coming in for a $12 an hour towards us.
Yeah.
Those two were by far my least favorite interactions. I know those were really long stories, but they took a bit of setup.
Yeah.
Mine are
Super annoying.
mine are
thing
pretty.
is-
You go ahead.
Well, the thing is with Gage's stories, and like compared to ours,
Yeah.
Gage has to be with these people for upwards of an hour.
Yeah.
Well, for us, it's like 5 minutes.
It's my stories are both pretty short. I only
Yeah.
have like, really, I only have. Well, I have 2. I'll tell the most recent one, which was today first. It wasn't a bad experience. It was just very off-putting. Usually with customer service, I try to treat a customer how I'd like to be treated, which is just as like a human. I don't like to be bothered. I just like having somebody within like, being able to be like, hey, I need help. And then have somebody be able to help me. But besides that, whatever, I just free roam. But this guy comes up to me he's just standing in the store and he's like, Tommy guy, is there a Tommy guy in here? Can I get a Tommy guy? And I'm like,
I think that's me.
yeah, I think that's me. So I go up to him. I'm like, I work here, and he's like, oh, sweet, you're a Tommy guy, and I was like, yes, yeah, I'm a Tommy guy. He's like, all right, sweet, I'm and he starts like rubbing his hands. He's like, I'm looking for stuff, This is starting to sound like kind of like a fratty dude. He's not at all. He's probably like mid-40s. He's a little bit overweight. Like he just doesn't look like he'd talk like this at all. And he's like, I'm looking for, I've got this coupon. I'm looking for good deals. I'm looking for good stuff. And can you help me find some socks? I was like, yeah, here's all our socks right here. And he was like, cool. Do you got gray ones? Yeah. Do you have gray ones that like go up to your shin? No. You guys should get gray ones. We have black ones. Cool. What's the discount? Buy one, get one half off. I just want one. And so he just takes one. He's not done yet, though. And then he keeps on going back and forth through these socks like 5 different times. He was not done with the socks. So then he's like, all right. How much are these shirts? Plainly labeled just above the shirts, $19.99. That shirt will be $19.99. Cool. What size do you think I wear? I'm a size 16. Size 16 is for neck measurements. That is the diameter or radius or whatever of like your neck or whatever circumference. I'm not exactly sure, but it's the measurement of your neck. I was like, I'd say like a large. I don't know. I wear between like a medium and a large. And he's like, cool. All right, I'll get this shirt. And I was like, okay, cool. Do you want me to hold it up at the register? And he's like, nah. Hold the socks at the register, but I'm going to keep the shirt. Okay? This dude's putting off some pretty interesting energy. Mm-hmm. He's usually
right.
Customers either match or a little bit shyer than my energy. I try to be a little bit upbeat. And then he goes up to the pants and he's like, what size pants you think I wear?
Dude.
Come on, buddy.
Dude, I do not know. He's a little bit shorter than I am, so I'm like, I don't know, maybe like 30 length pants. Cool. All right. He keeps on saying cool.
Frumpy middle-aged white dude.
Yeah. It's just like, all right. So he's like, you got straight fit pants in this color right here, and it's like an entire wall of darkly colored pants except for one. And I was like, no, we don't have any more of those. He's like, all right, I'm gonna get these ones. Darkest colored denim we have. Completely flips the spectrum, and I'm like, all right, whatever, man. That's not too weird, whatever. And he's like, all right, but what size pants do you think I wear? And I'm like, dude, I don't know.
I'm not your seamstress, dude.
Well, I'm
Come
like,
on.
what size pants you wearing right now? And he's like, I bought these pants 5 years ago.
Changes the size, dude.
Yeah, like
Oh my god.
how 5 years having the
That's a
same
long
pants. That's a
time.
long time.
Some good pants.
Yeah, and they were light wash pants. I bet they're the same color of pants, the ones that he bought today when he first bought them. So he comes up to the register and he's like, he buys all of his stuff. He gives me the coupon. He's like, oh, good deals, man, good deals. And he's just about to walk out and he's like, actually, can I look at that duffel bag? And it's the one at like the top shelf. And I was like,
my
are you?
gosh.
So I get like the little like shepherd's cane that we used to get it down. I get it down. He's like, how much will it be? I don't know, like $30. All right, cool. I'm gonna think about it. And then he leaves. Doesn't even thank me. Doesn't thank me.
How long was he there in the store?
10 minutes.
All this happened in 10 minutes?
Yeah, it was a quick interaction.
Wow.
So it wasn't a bad interaction. It was just very strange. I don't think I've ever had a customer interaction like that.
Cool. What size pants you think I wear, though?
What size pants? Twice. Yeah.
Oh my
me.
god, that's
So that's the first one. The second most recent one, this is actually a bad experience. It has to do with masks. I think it was a little bit more outwardly aggressive than Gage's experience, but much shorter. So this guy and his wife, or I assume it's his wife, whatever, come into the store and neither of them were wearing masks. This is at the point where the state proclamation or whatever has come into play and it's like, you have to wear a mask if you're in a public area. Okay. So they come in and I see them and for some reason it just hits me because we've had people come in without masks and I just go up and be like, hey, we have masks in the store. You have to wear masks in the store. And they're like, oh, I didn't even think about it. And it's like, yeah, whatever. It's like a new thing that's happening. So we give them a mask and they put it on and that's that. But for some reason, when this guy came in a store with his miniature poodle in his arms and his middle-aged white man face, once again, I thought to myself, this guy's going to be the one. This guy's going to be the one to ruin my day. So
here we are.
And here we are. So instead, I'm like, manager, I don't like. We've got a person up front now wearing a mask. And she goes up there, and I see them conversing, and then all of a sudden I hear, what? You people are sheep! You sheep! Where's the state ordinance? What is the ordinance number of wearing masks? And we're like, we don't know. I don't memorize numbers. We work at a retail store. And he's like, you people are sheep. I'm not standing for this. His wife takes a mask. She's like just standing there as a bystander. She's like, I'm not with him. So he's like, you people are sheep. I'm not taking a mask. This is absurd. And then another customer gets in on it, but in support of us. And she's like, no, bye-bye. No, see you later. See you, bye-bye. And we're like, this customer's kind of sick, but like not helping the situation. It's escalating. This very strange man.
Poodle man.
It's, yes. But and then he just leaves, walks like 20 feet away from the store, and just starts smoking a cigarette with his little dog. Also, you can't smoke that close to the stores. So I was really hoping the security guard would come over and be like, yo, get out.
All right.
But he didn't, sadly.
Unfortunately.
Damn.
Unfortunately, Paul Blart Mall Cop did not roll up on his Segway and say,
Very sad
leave.
about it.
That guy's not good at his job anyway.
No.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
A bunch of criminals got into his mall, dude.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I was
Slipped
there.
right in
But
his nose.
the cherry on top of this whole story is we check out front 10 minutes later. We're just looking outside to see if there are any customers. It starts getting slow. We're seeing if there's any traffic outside. And we see the same guy sitting in the same place wearing a mask.
What?
Just that
kidding me.
whole interaction.
His wife or whoever that was must have talked him.
He must have
into
been like, dude, like,
It's been like, what the fuck is
You're
wrong?
being an idiot.
what is wrong with
I
you?
want a divorce.
And final interaction, I'm very good at avoiding confrontation at work. I'm not against it, I've experienced it, but I can sense the situation happening and just be like, somebody else take it. I'm not paid enough for this garbage.
Right.
So that's why I always dump it off to the managers, because they are paid more than I am.
It's fair.
But and that's essentially their job.
Yeah.
But there was this lady, I can't, like, she was getting a return. Oh, I have another one, but I'll let somebody else talk. I don't want to like talk just in a row for a long time. But there's this lady, this one was like 2 years ago. This is a long time ago. This lady comes in and she wants a return. She seems like a very average lady. Nothing wrong with her, middle-aged white woman. And she's just kind of, talking, getting the return. Associates, it's mostly the leads or the managers are the ones who do the returns. But now we're letting like the normal, the lower leveled people do it. So he's doing the return, and then all of a sudden she starts getting angry, and I can like see it and sense it. And I come up and I'm like, what's the problem here? I've just become like a lead, which is like a step below a manager. And she's like, this guy, he's saying that the return is this much when it says this much on the receipt. And we're like, yeah, well, it actually doesn't say that much. It says this one's right here. For some reason, it just doesn't tally up correctly. I don't know. The computers are old. And she's like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I went to Cal Poly. I went to Cal Poly. And we're like, oh, okay. So I'm like,
A lot of people
right.
went there.
Yeah, a lot of people went there. You could have gotten an English major. You don't, like, whatever. I don't care. So I'm like, okay. Hey, manager, going up on a walkie-talkie. Could you chill out with this? And I just walk away, and I'm just experiencing this whole thing, and it just keeps on escalating. She starts yelling, and then eventually she just starts yelling, and then she says something. I can't remember what she says, but she says something like effing degenerates or something like just messed up like that to the manager. And I hear it and I turn and look, and the manager's just like wide-eyed, like, so sweet. And then she just walks out, never returned.
Wow.
But she did get her return.
Epic. That's good.
But she went to Cal Poly, so I don't.
So, I
Went to
mean,
Cal Poly. I don't think you really understand how smart she is.
Yeah, she's pretty.
she went to a really good school, dude.
She went to a
Cal
really
Poly.
good school.
Voted the most racist university in America like twice.
What? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
At
Makes
least
sense.
once.
Makes sense.
It's a lot of white people.
A lot of white
there.
people.
Yeah, a lot of them.
A lot of Hicks.
Yeah.
No offense, but it's true.
Yeah, it's an ag school.
Yeah. My stories, well, it's funny because one of the stories I'm about to tell happened today as well.
Oh.
And, well, I haven't worked in a while. I just got back this past month. And I haven't
Right, you were
had-
dead. So
Yeah, I was dead. So I haven't had that many interactions with any shitty customers in a really long time. It's been like 6 months at least. So this really caught me off guard. I was like, basically what happened was this lady comes in and she's like, oh, I want to get these headphones. Cool, whatever, get the headphones. So, when you swipe a card and it'll ask for like a PIN?
yeah,
Right?
that's pretty normal.
Yeah. So she swipes her card. She's like, oh, there's no PIN. So she presses cancel, which will run the card through as credit, or just bypass the PIN pretty much.
Yeah.
So it declines it. And her first reaction is to get mad at me. Like, she's like, there's no PIN. There's no PIN on this card. And I'm like, okay, I know that. Like, you just told me that, and you just bypassed it. Obviously, there's no PIN. So then she's like, well, this card has worked before here. And I'm like, well, okay, well, it's not working right now. So I'm like, okay, I understand that you're upset. Let's try this one more time, because sometimes the machine doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes the machine is just stupid.
Yeah.
That's not my fault at all. It's just the machine. So we try it one more time. It declines again. I'm like, okay. She's still getting more mad at me.
Right.
Just for, like, because obviously this is my fault. I don't want her to get these headphones, of course.
Yeah, no. You wouldn't want to make a sale.
So then she's like, okay, get a manager. Get a manager over here right now. And I'm like, I'm not going to get a manager over here because we're very busy, and they're going to tell you the exact same thing. This is not our fault. Your card clearly has a PIN.
Yeah.
You can bypass it, cancel the PIN or whatever. But if it asks you for a PIN, that means you have one.
Was it like one of those? Was it the EAP card or whatever it's called? No, Like the card where you get the furlough money on it. Was it like one of the cards?
No. With the mountain range?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't one of those. This was a different card from like her company or something. So I was like, if it asks you for a pin, that means there is a pin on this.
Yeah.
But she's like, no, there's not. No, there's not. No, there's not. I'm like, there is. And my manager's going to tell you the exact same thing. This is your card problem, not our problem.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, do you have any other card? No, I don't have another card. This is the only card, and it should work. I'm like, well, it's not. So she's like, fine. She pulls out another card after just telling me she didn't have one to pay for her fucking HP ink.
Right.
I'm like, why didn't you just use that card?
Use that card.
She's like super stubborn.
If it was for business, she just gets a write-off, and then
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, it's headphones.
Yeah, no, when it comes to dealing with cards,
yeah. Hold on.
Sorry, my throat has been really itchy.
you good?
You need to drink water.
So anyway, when it comes to cards in the machines, sometimes it'll ask for a PIN, but you can do a bypass with that. It'll usually just be like American Express system. You plug the card in, it'll ask for a PIN, you hit the OK button, it should clear through. But in the case that it doesn't, that means that the person who using the card actually has to put their PIN in.
Yeah.
And at that point, there's no shit we can do. If it's an error with the machine, trust me, we want to make a purchase. We like money.
Yeah, we like money.
I want the schmeckles. Come on.
Yeah, we don't want to not sell you things. Our entire purpose of working here is to sell you things. So for you to sit here and go, I can't believe that you're not letting me buy this. I'm not trying to stop you.
Okay, I've been thinking about this where it's people say like the customer is always right.
No.
That's a misnomer.
It's not true.
When is that
Because
ever true?
They don't know as much as we do about the job.
So
He just needs to
more coughing.
Yeah.
Like that fucking powder from that cookie is still.
It's still
Oh
hitting
yeah,
you?
he ate a raspberry kind of crumble cookie with powdered sugar on it, and he's been dying for the last 45 minutes.
It's been close to an hour at this
It's
point.
been over an hour actually.
Oh really?
That's intense.
Gosh darn. I must say, good fella, you should probably try to do something to that there windpipe so you don't.
In the wise words of Chester Stone,
God
motherfucking damn, bitch.
you poop.
Uh-oh, I made it smelly. Nah, bitch, I think you shit. I don't know if any of you listening have ever heard of Chester Stone 745, but he is a god amongst men.
I highly suggest following him on
Instagram.
any social media platform. Is he only on Instagram or does he have
I've never seen him on anything else.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
one. On Instagram, it's Chester Stone 745. There's no special characters or anything.
Yeah.
He has some pretty interesting videos. He's this middle-aged black dude who's missing some of his teeth. He goes around his local gas station, and he'll just harass people who are walking outside. He'll walk up to people's cars and go, "Excuse me, beautiful woman, what are you doing with this ugly motherfucker, bitch?" While the dude's sitting in the side. Or goes, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a pack of Newports for me?" "No, bitch, fuck off then. God motherfucking damn." He'll go around, he'll just be a complete idiot, which I can guarantee it's all ironic.
Yeah.
But he does it in such a great way. Lately, he's been campaigning on his Instagram story, Chester Stone for president. And he's reposting people's pictures, and it's a goatsy Mario that says,
Yes.
"Vote for Chester Stone 745, free packs from Newports for everybody who votes for him." And he reposts a ton of them. That's the only thing he's reposting. He's also been promoting his mixtape, which he's only releasing on Burn CD.
This needs to leak onto the internet.
Yeah, well, it's on. You can buy it online.
Oh, okay.
A copy of his mixtape. It's not doesn't have any custom image on it. It's just a plain Burn CD with some Sharpie writing on the front of it.
That's the vibe, dude.
Yeah.
That's the vibe. Dude, I remember one of my friends bought a CD like that at the Strawberry Festival. Where it was like in 8th grade, this dude was like, "Hey man, you want to buy my mixtape?" It was like this like scrawny white kid, and he was like, "Yeah man, I want to buy your mixtape." This was like when the SoundCloud rapper was first hitting, so I was like, "Dude, I wanna like help out the small musician."
Yeah.
And he did have he did have custom art on the outside, and it was him like folding his arms or like pretend gangster with photoshopped fire in the background.
Yeah, of
I still have
course.
to burp. And then yeah, it was just a burned CD on the inside. I don't think he ever listened to the CD too. I would text him every once in a while, be like, "Dude, did you listen to the CD?" And he was like, "Nah, man, I haven't. I don't have a CD player." And I was like, "Dang, bro, I got a CD
Why'd you
player. I wouldn't
buy it?"
listen to it." To this day, I don't know what it was, but I really want to hear it.
Oh man,
He probably was the next Kanye. We missed out.
probably.
He's probably dead somewhere.
So speaking of wacky internet personalities like Chester Stone,
Yeah.
did you guys see iDubbbz's new video?
I have not. No.
Okay, so I've seen this video pop up in my YouTube rec a few times now, but I haven't been watching iDubbbz lately. I kind of lost interest, so I've just kind of been ignoring it. But every time I see the thumbnail for his new video, I swear to God that the person in the middle of the thumbnail who's not iDubbbz, I'm like, I recognize that person.
Yeah.
I don't know who. I recognize that person. So today, taking a fat shit,
Right.
As you do.
as the usual, and I see the video show up. And, it's a 54-minute video. I said, I'm going to be here for a long fucking time. So
50 more. 50
I click on the video, and it's called The Ice Cream Man. Click on the video. Guess who the guy on the thumbnail was?
Who?
Dax fucking Flame.
No way.
Who's
Yes,
Dax
wait.
Flame?
Who is that?
Dax Flame is a YouTube god. I love him. He has I've even read parts of one of his books on Amazon, and Isaiah hates it.
Isaiah's terrible taste. Hey, Isaiah, I know you listen to this podcast. You posted on the episode 2 that you said that Midsummer was 7-layer garbage. Yeah, you have terrible taste. Anyways, continue, Israel.
Anyway, fuck. So, Dax Flame, internet god. You may recognize his videos from a very popular, I wouldn't say a meme, but it's an image that gets tossed around a lot, where he has this diary series on YouTube, and it's like, episode 30, Superman is going to school. Episode 31, embarrassment.
Yes!
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I've seen this.
I love him. I love his old videos.
Is that the same dude where it's like, lost my virginity, and he has like the flashing...
No.
Oh, no.
Not the same
that
guy.
guy.
I like that one too.
But iDubbbz did a full 50-minute documentary with this guy, and that made my day today, because I think Dax Flame is a very important figure.
I've got to
in
look
YouTube.
this guy up.
I love his videos. He is an excellent actor. It's great.
Yeah, no, Dax is definitely an important figure. Important figure in the hallmark of YouTube. There's a select group of people who are important hallmark figures, and Dax Flame is definitely one of them. Mm-hmm. Even if he doesn't rank amongst the highest, he is definitely important.
There's a lot of underground people that definitely influenced a lot of modern creators today that are still relatively underground. One of them that's rising, I can't remember his name. He's in Palm Springs. He's like the kind of spazzy dude in Palm Springs. He's one of Eric Andre's new biggest influences. But I've showed you guys one of his videos where he's like, "What's up? I'm on the 405 freeway. No, I'm out here and there's ground beef in the ground."
yeah.
And he's like punching the ground. He's like, "If I find whoever put this ground beef in the ground, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna kill you." Christian Alliance. He's like, "America." I can't remember his name.
But he's a good guy.
But he's like, oh man, his videos are so good.
I forgot to mention that today I discovered that Dax Flame was in 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, Superbad, and various other movies.
Seriously.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
What?
That is pretty insane.
So
Really
he's like
made it.
friends with Jonah Hill in The Crew.
He at
I
least
don't think he's friends with them. He just got the opportunities from his internet fame.
Was he is he an extra or just a
Yeah,
speaking
he's
role?
an extra. He has some minor lines and stuff. There's some other movie where he makes an announcement, and you see him make an announcement over some intercom whatever for school. Mm-hmm. And then there's one where he plays Dax Flame in the movie where he's recording a vlog or whatever, and he's like, "What's up? It's Dax." But
Is this mentioned in the documentary?
yes,
Oh, okay.
that's how I figured that out.
That's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
That is pretty insane.
Oh, but most YouTuber cameos do not
Or YouTuber movies.
YouTuber movies do not
Do not translate
go over.
well.
Did you guys ever watch Smiley?
Yeah, I did. It was really bad.
I never
Shane
watched
Dawson
it,
horror
but
movie.
I remember as a little kid I wanted to because it was made by Shane Dawson.
Smiley.
Smiley.
Dude, he's been in the news for not great things for the
He's always been in the news for not great things.
yeah.
People have just started to finally care. Before he got away with the whole excuse of, oh, it's just edgy, ironic humor for the sake of being edgy, because at the time people like Dane Cook were really popping off, and Dane Cook was a really edgy comedian. People like Daniel Tosh were still really huge. And so it was more, not acceptable, but it was more easier to turn a blind eye to that kind of thing.
Yeah. PC wasn't as big.
Yeah, no, PC wasn't as big. It was kind of the beginning of PC, like what we know now as PC culture. That's when they were really kind of, in their prime. And now Shane Dawson and all the other people who were in that kind of crowd are finally getting what they deserve for what they did for a long time, which it's like a decade overdue?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's
a really long time.
well,
Because he's been on YouTube for a long
a
time.
long time. I don't know how he's lasted. He's like come up and come down, come up and come down.
Yeah.
Now I think he's hitting probably his lowest bottom. But I used to watch him in like 6th grade. I don't know. I never super enjoyed his videos. I liked him for like a short time. The only thing I really remember from literally any of his videos is like one time at the end of his video, he was like, I'm going to rattle off the script for this video. And I was like, that's dumb. I don't want this. Why would I want the script for a Shane Dawson video?
If I want the script, I can just transcribe what happened in the video.
Yeah. Smosh, on the other hand, I'd want to script one of their videos. Signed by Anthony Baddia and Ian Hecox. Oh, on a previous podcast, I think we talked about Mia Khalifa briefly.
Did we?
I don't know. I don't know. I felt like we
This
were
is
like
all in your head.
maybe.
You just think about it.
I'm
way
just
too
like,
much.
what is she up to?
God.
But apparently she isn't back in porn again.
No,
No, she's on TikTok.
Yeah, but like
She's a
not.
Chinese spy.
Ooh.
No, the whole reason her and her porn career were being brought up is because people were bringing to light that she wasn't really making that much out of her porn career, and
No.
kind of got sharked into it when she was a bit younger.
Yeah,
Which, I mean,
she's super anti-porn now.
yeah, super anti-porn. Which, I mean, merits to both sides. Don't really want to get into that because that's a whole,
Yeah.
it's a whole bucket of worms not worth really diving into. It's been covered to death
Bucket
from
of
both
sperm.
sides. Yeah, no, it's been bukkake to death from both sides. It's just not worth covering at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think a lot of kind of OG, so to say, porn stars are kind of either dipping out now, or they're kind of realizing that porn stars are not really they're kind of getting the shit end of the stick when it
It's a
comes
pretty kind of sketch industry. It's an industry where it's like essentially all of the content is free. Nobody's getting paid for it except for the companies that are running it. At least YouTubers are getting paid directly for what they're
They
doing.
have ads.
Yeah, but
yeah.
the
They run-
actual stars in the videos, well, at least Mia Khalifa, I watched an interview with her with Anthony Baddia. That's how I remembered it. But she was like, yeah, I got paid like a couple $100 per video. Like
Yeah.
she made like $20,000 in whole for 11 videos.
So usually for porn stars, typically male gay porn stars get paid a lot more.
That was a loud bong.
Yeah, that was just me accidentally tapping my finger. Male gay porn stars get paid a lot of money, typically. And then female porn stars, depending on what type of genre they're doing a porn, will get paid more. And it's really surprising that she didn't get paid more, because she was the talk of the porn town for a good, I'd say probably solid 2 years. Even after she stopped putting out anything, she was still getting talked about a lot. Which, I don't know, it just is kind of...
It's how
Interesting.
it's how most acting jobs work at the beginning, even if you're like instantly a hit.
Yeah.
You're still not going to make that much.
Yeah,
Right.
any acting job is going to be like that, but it still feels snaky, especially with something as vulnerable as porn.
Yeah, it's extremely hard to peek behind the curtains of what happens in porn. It's not so difficult to do that with movies per se. Like, don't get me wrong, Harvey Weinstein is a great example of how hard it is to
Yeah.
actually see behind the curtains.
Well,
But
the thing is like we knew about
we
Harvey
knew about
Weinstein.
it. The thing is, we don't really know that much about porn studios, though.
Yeah, that's true.
They keep everything very tight knit. It's see don't tell type
yeah.
thing.
Well, it's
We
also a
need
thing where
to
it's like
infiltrate the porn industry.
Nose goes.
You
I
guys
didn't
really
put my finger on my nose on purpose.
I see.
though.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay, good.
But there are a bunch of allegations going up against Pornhub about them being notified multiple times by hundreds of people about underage children as young as 14, 15
Yeah,
on their
I've
sites.
heard about this.
Or revenge porn too.
Yeah,
One of it's
revenge
obviously
porn.
like I
One's-
guess worse, quote unquote.
One's more gross than the other, but they're still both illegal.
yeah, still very illegal.
And they just didn't care at all. They just kind of ignored the requests to
Because
take
they were
down the
getting
videos.
money.
Yeah, they were getting paid a lot of money because a lot of people, millions of people would watch these videos. They turn a blind eye. They wouldn't do anything about it. Now that they're being brought into the public light, it's kind of being dragged out, kicking and screaming. They don't have much of a choice but to acknowledge it and to start to remove that, or they're going to start getting tanked with lawsuits.
Yeah, serious lawsuits.
And it's not even just Pornhub, like any other porn aggregation site, like where they just steal videos from anywhere. That shit happens all the time. Well, you'll find a video where it's like some girls who can be like as young as fucking 13 years old, and the videos will rack up like 3 million views before they get finally taken down, and no one would take it down unless people were complaining. Otherwise, those videos would continuously rack up more and more views. It's just insane.
And then of those 3 million people, probably a good lot of them are like saving it to their computers and then redistributing.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
A lot of people who usually watch that kind of stuff are usually the people who will download it and then distribute it through private servers, and it just makes it super easy to kind of streamline that kind of like
Yeah,
child porn type shit, because you can surprisingly find it very easy. You can find it by not even searching for porn at all. You can get this off of a stray ad that takes you to a wrong site, and you'll get something.
Some dude on Reddit talked about that, where he was like, "Yeah, I decided." Well, it was like a whole thread where it said like, "Oh, people who actually clicked on porn ads, where to bring you to?" And there were some funny ones where it was like, "No joke, it brought me to the Roblox homepage." No joshing.
Yeah.
And then some of them where it's like, "Yeah, it brought me to like some sketchy stuff."
I don't know how they can get away with that.
Yeah,
Don't you have
it's
to-
so I feel like it's super hard to track.
To put up,
It is.
Well, to put up an ad though, isn't there someone who has to see
It's
it?
not an officially licensed ad though. The thing is with a pop-up is that it's they're like, I'm by no means I'm no like HTML or JavaScript expert at all, but usually shit like that is very easy to put in yourself. That's how so many virus ads get put in, like alert, your computer has been alerted to Microsoft that you need to download this driver for more RAM data, and it'll say like download here in like JPEG impact font text.
Right.
And those aren't obviously real ads. Just like with those, disgusting porn ads too. People can upload those by themselves, and they usually will upload those, and they'll have some sort of thing that says like, whatever it is, like let's say it's bestiality or snuff or whatever, and then it'll have a little thing next to it that'll say like download. You click on that, it brings you to another pop-up page that'll immediately do a background download of some malware or keylogger or some shit to steal your info. And they're super hard to regulate because they can be uploaded from pretty much any device at all if you know what you're doing. And if you have a virtual machine and a VPN, or you run 2 virtual machines and 2 VPNs or whatever, it's damn near impossible to actually trace it back to the person who
Yeah, and you can do double VPNs now. So if you're doing like I don't know if it's can you do like a double VPN, like a 4? I bet it's possible.
You can stack as many VPNs as you want.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so gnarly. That's so
And
sketchy.
the thing is, a lot of these places that do that upload like this like child porn ads that like would pop up off a Pornhub link, they usually are operating out of countries that aren't in U.S. jurisdiction for laws.
That makes sense
Because it'll usually be off of sites like Moldovan or Georgian or Russian, Chinese, Indonesian, something.
Right. And how is someone from America going to be like, hey, this is illegal? And it's like, okay, what are you going to do? Arrest me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, it's extremely hard for them to put any jurisdiction on that because a lot of those countries that this shit comes out of, they're coming off of servers in small remote towns and places that the U.S. has no jurisdiction when it comes to international like cyber laws at all. Like you'll get links that'll pop up for like gross porn sites that'll be like .ga, which is Georgia, whatever Moldova is like .ma, .bg, which is like Bulgaria, like a bunch of different sites that the U.S. just cannot actually do anything about.
Yeah.
So the best they can do is just
block it.
Yeah, they just have to blacklist the sites or blacklist the IPs and servers they're coming from and hope that they don't pop up in another place with a different name.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's so easy for them to pop up somewhere else.
Yeah. Like, there are a ton of forums, too, where they, like, have super innocent names where it would never arouse any suspicion that it would be porn at all.
Yeah, that's
But-
how they do it. Like, it's only spread through their weird niche, completely illegal
Perverted.
community. Yeah, perverted communities.
Because they all use there's a certain, like, 3 or 4 groups of forum types. They're, like, UniBB or whatever, like, PHBB or some shit like that. They're all super easy forums that you can set up in a matter of, like, 20 minutes, if that. And it's all off, a private network. So it's really hard to regulate and shut down.
That's why stuff like when people talk about like the dark net, that's why they think it's scary, which it is, but it's like it's hard to come by those things for that very specific reason.
It's hard, but it's also easy because they make it the most unassuming thing. That's how they'll pull someone into that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It'll be very unassuming. You won't think anything about it, anything about the name, nothing about the link or the description of the website that pops up seems suspicious. But then you click on it, and things start looking a little, iffy. You don't know what you're expecting. Next thing you click on, let's say you click on like a board that says wallpaper, and let's say you're in like not in like a 4chan board, but like let's say like a forum board, like if you're signed up to a gaming website, it's like think of those kind of forums. You click on something where it's like wallpapers, and then it'll be a string of letters and numbers, which is like the ID code or whatever for like their image sets or whatever. You click on that, and then it's horrific shit like videos and photos of videos of like 9-year-olds like doing horrific shit, and it's just super easy to hide. It's super easy to hide because it's easy to shut down and get rid of, and then pop up somewhere else with a different name, different server host.
Yeah, it can move. It can move anywhere.
It's virtually impossible to shut it down unless you were to
I know how to shut it down.
How?
Kill all the children.
Oh.
See, that's a good point.
See, now, here's where things get interesting.
Yeah.
If you were to just start a campaign in the United States,
Hey, what's up?
hey, our friend just walked in. Anyways, if you were to start a campaign in the United States where you would kill anybody under the age of 18, you would never have this problem again. It's pretty simple. Pretty radical, but pretty simple.
We're talking about distribution of illegal child pornography and how it's super messed up.
And how it's super and how it's super easy to find on the internet for virtually nothing. Like how it's super easy to find if you're not even looking for anything.
Oh yeah, you go to like any hentai and you can easily find it.
Move to the microphone so you can get in there. Yeah, we were just
I'm gonna get a drink first.
okay.
Bruh, Ty, bruh.
But
Oh yeah, welcome Ty.
I don't know who that is.
yeah, I've never met him before. I don't know who he is.
Who's this hobo
Who's
in our
this Ty?
house?
Scoozy, do I know you?
Pardon, mom.
Scusi.
But anyway, let's
Wait, I don't want to sit on that.
let's jump off a topic that isn't as grotesque, downtrodden, and depressing as
Yeah, let's finish off.
Sick
We're
thing.
nearly done. We can finish off
Okay.
on something a little bit more lighthearted.
Let's finish off our goals for the year.
okay.
Okay?
What's goals for this year?
So
Yeah,
my
goals for the end of the
previous goal for last year was getting away with murder. So I can't do
Right.
that one again because I already did it.
Shit.
This year, I want to make a diorama.
Very
I want to make a
excellent.
diorama.
Like draw one or actually make one?
Actually make one.
Yeah, he's talked about it a few times.
Epic. All right.
For me, it's start doing ruck marches in my kit. So ruck marches with like a 40-pound backpack and then my play carrier, whatever, and start doing that regularly just so I can be in a better fitness level. Hone my vocal ability a little bit better and start doing music performances. That's really what I want to start doing.
Nice. My end of the year was to get to 190 pounds. Getting
Where are you
closer.
at?
I think I'm at 200. I was at like 220 at the beginning of the year.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So
You're very close.
I am very close.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You should
Yeah,
lost
and then,
it. It's hard to lose 20 pounds.
It is.
That's
Well,
like-
basically, I just cut out breakfast, and that's all I did. Was I just cut out breakfast, and now I'm chilling.
Yeah.
So, and then I didn't make videos for like 7 months, and now I've like got a routine that like I can stick to if I just keep to it.
That
So,
video you released about like the vinyl was like
pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate
I
it.
had a lot of people I talked to about it, and they're like, "That was like pretty entertaining." And
Sweet.
Yeah,
Well, the
yeah.
next one's gonna be about movies, so
All of you who have not subscribed to Dane's channel, it's Dane Dansk.
it is in the description.
DANE.
It's already in the description of the podcast.
Check out his videos; they are pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Nathan, what's your goal?
Well, the thing is,
No, shut the fuck up. Just have one.
all right. Well,
It can be outlandish and fake.
the thing, yeah, they're very simple, but they're probably not going to happen. Knowing me,
Okay.
I'd like to actually stay consistent. The main thing is being consistent with anything I do. Like, I want to be consistent with Japanese. I want to be consistent with learning an instrument. I want to be consistent with surfing. It's just the desire to be consistent rather than a
Get
goal. It's just the consistency of the goal.
Aren't those all things you're already consistent at, though?
No,
No.
that's the
No,
thing. That's my
that's a
problem.
big
I'm
no.
I'm not consistent at all.
Your desire shouldn't be to be consistent. Your desire should be to perfect your ability at what you're learning. You shouldn't.
Yeah. But
Your idea shouldn't be I need to stay consistent. It should be I want to get better at
Yeah.
this. Therefore,
yeah, but that of course. But what I mean is, like, to do that, I need to be consistent first.
The
You know what I mean?
yeah, I gotcha.
the Abroad in Japan guy talks about that, where he was like, before he moved to Japan, he felt really lazy and unmotivated to learn Japanese. And then once he got to Japan, he was like, okay, I've got to set down a regiment. Like, he knew no Japanese. So he literally, like, you don't have to go this extreme, but he, like, shut himself in for, like, a year, just learning kanji in Japanese, just, like, writing it down in the book and doing all this crazy stuff. But, like, he didn't do that overnight. He said, like, because he taught English at a Japanese school, every single day walking to school, he would, put in his earphones and listen to, like, motivational stuff. He said it was really weird and, like, not something he necessarily recommends doing at that kind of crazy level, but it's like he regrets none of it. Like, he's gained so much from, like, kind of this cold turkey sort of way he did it. But,
Oh yeah.
you can
That's
definitely...
really hot.
Yeah. Walden Bankrupt kind of did the same thing when he was learning Russian. Every single day he would try to learn 10 words out of the Russian dictionary.
Yeah, once you can get to that level, it's a lot easier. But that's, for Japanese, that's like 2 years in.
Yeah. But like it's same principle though. He would take the dictionary, try to learn 10 words every day, and try to remember them. He'd review those 10 words the next day, then try to learn 10 more, and just keep doing that. So he'd be reviewing a ton of words every single day, brought it to the point where he'd be able to actually start talking with speakers, be able to start piecing together grammar, etc., etc.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard to stay consistent if you don't know where to start. I haven't been consistent in learning Russian at all.
Yeah, I've only been doing Japanese twice a week for 30 to 45 minutes, and I should be doing like an hour every day.
They say
Yeah.
they say 3 hours. I read somewhere 3 hours.
Yeah,
To learn it in like a
2 or
year,
3
though.
hours.
To learn it in like a year or like
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
I
got
was
to
doing...
see in a Spanish college course, so languages are hard.
Languages are hard,
Especially languages like Japanese, they're some of the hardest languages to learn. And
especially for an English speaker.
it's recommended that you take anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 hours to be able to.
It's 2,500 hours to become conversationally fluent. And I don't think I even have 100 hours in. Because I did all of Pimsleur, and I feel like I remember like 10% of it. So,
Okay,
When I was-
but what's Ty's goal?
what's
Wait,
Ty's...
I want to talk about Japanese for one
Okay.
second.
Yeah.
Because with someone who has dyslexia and learning Spanish,
Yeah.
it was almost impossible.
Yeah.
Like that shit was so fucking hard. Can I cuss?
Yeah. No, you're
Okay.
fine.
That shit was so fucking hard to learn. But like with Japanese, since like each like kanji and stuff is like kind of like
It's like a picture.
yeah, it's almost like a picture and like a list of words instead of in one symbol. It was a lot easier to wrap my head around.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like pretty interesting. I just found it easier.
That'd be interesting, like a thing to look up. Are dyslexia rates smaller in countries that use symbols rather than like script?
Letters are symbols.
Yeah.
Well, technically,
But I feel
Okay,
like
smart ass.
well, I feel like even with like not saying you're autistic, but like
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit retarded. I'm not saying you're autistic, but with people who are autistic or on the spectrum, they find it easier to deal with an image rather than something
Yeah,
like that.
That's how you learn kanji
I agree
easier.
with that. Like it's easier.
How I remember the kanji for movie is it looks like a dude holding a piece of 35 millimeter film, and then the next piece of kanji looks like one of those TNT push down boxes, like the ignition box, in another box. So that's like action film movie.
That makes sense.
That's how I remember it.
Okay, so for my year, wait, it's by the end of the year?
Yeah,
Yeah,
by the
what's
end
your
of
goal?
this year.
Fuck. I want to get better at writing because, like, I think, like, secretly I've always wanted to get better at writing and, like, better at storytelling and stuff.
Right.
So I've been just, like, practicing writing for years, but never, like, gone fully in depth into, like, writing a full story.
Yeah.
So I think I just want to, like, put my head in the books and just, like, write a complete story.
Writing's hard.
It's super hard.
It is hard.
That's why I didn't make a video for 7 months, because I had like all these scripts started, but I didn't want to finish any of them because it's
Just like I have so many good ideas and like I know I could flesh them out more. It's just the time that is required to.
yeah,
I think
so much
so much time.
I think the hardest part is you have all these points that you want to reach, but in between those points, you're just like, what the fuck do I write here?
Yeah. Like you have an idea of what's happening in the beginning, what's happening in the middle, what's happening in the end, but you don't know how to actually fill and bridge the gaps in between them.
It's
And issue is you can spend a month trying to flesh out a single idea that takes you nowhere.
I mean, like, I found myself a lot, like, at work. Like, when you have a lot of downtime, I would, like, daydream about those gaps. And, like, after I got those daydream gaps, like, I would go home and, like, write them down. And be like, oh, fuck, that was a really good idea.
yeah. I need to get like a notebook at work. I have those all the time.
Yeah, dude, work is the best place to just...
Especially at your new job now, it's like you can do that all the time.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's about it for me.
Cool.
That sounds like a
Those are
pretty
some
good
goals to have.
stopping place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of CTTV.
Woohoo.
Join us next time when we are all convicted arsonists.
Woohoo!
Let's get the fucking
gonna be
fan on.
down with the
It is
established.
so hot. in here.
Hold on.
When I was driving over here, there was a giant fire by my house. Like, you could the fire was so large it was lighting up the smoke above it.
For legal reasons, what I just said was a joke.
That was not us.